So we're going to be working balance today. So instead of doing the normal thing where we start in a seated position, we're just going to get right up into a standing position in the center of our mat. And I like to start with a wide stance because that gives a little bit more balance. So whenever we're doing certain exercises, our spine is supported. And then whenever we get to the more narrow stances, that's when we're warmed up. Okay, so let's start with a wide stance. Let's just inhale all the way up. Exhale down. We're going to take a couple breaths like this, just inhaling up, exhaling down, and use your breath to dictate how your arms are moving. While you're going through these breathing exercises, I want you to just take a moment for yourself to clear out the past, clear out the future, and just be really present with the mat. Set your intention to have a sense of presence, being in the here and now. One more, we're going to inhale up and hold it here. Then we're going to exhale, drop it to the right side, reaching as far as we can comfortably. But we want to make sure our hips are still facing forward. So we don't want to turn our hips, but to keep our hips nice and steady. Or really rotating at the base of the rib cage. Hold it here for another few seconds. Then inhale up, exhale to the left. Keep your hips as steady as you can. Keep your arms as straight as you can. Keep breathing, opening up through the side of the body. Bring it back to center. Exhale down. Give yourself some shoulder rolls. We're just going to roll the shoulders back. Go through that full range of motion. Pay attention to the right shoulder, to the left shoulder. How does it feel from side to side? Do you feel tension in one side, maybe a little grindy feeling? Then let's change directions, rolling forward. And then we're going to open our arms and make full arm circles. Again, paying attention to where you might get stuck. Maybe you can't reach back as far as you thought you could. This is a great way to just loosen up through the shoulders. Opening the chest on the way back. Opening through the upper back on the way forward. And then change directions whenever you're ready. Take note of how it feels from the left to the right. Do you feel any places where you're getting stuck, where it's grindy? That might mean you need to stretch it a little bit more. Maybe it means you don't need to do very much to it. You need to rest it. So it really depends. If you ever want to talk about anything that you're feeling in the shoulders or the hips or anything, you can always reach out. All right, let's bring our feet to a narrow position, about little narrower than hip width. Hands to the hips, so we're going to do some hip rolls. So we're going to roll our belly forward, take it out to the side as far as we can, roll our hips back, take it to the side. Bring it around town. That's a SpongeBob SquarePants reference from probably 2002. And then change direction. If you recall, that was the bubble blowing episode. Couple more. And then take a deep breath, step it out. And that's what we're going to do for warm-ups today, because we're going to start with some gentle exercises. So we're going to start out with pointing our toe forward, tap the floor, and just raise the foot off of the floor. Tap the floor, raise it up. So while you're doing this, place your hand on your right hip in the front. You should feel your hip flexor working. This is the muscle that gets really tight when we spend a lot of time in a seated position. This is a good way to strengthen that muscle, but it's also a good way to warm ourselves up into our balance exercises. Change leg, hands on the left hip, raise it up and lower. You should feel that muscle working. And if it hurts, it might be too tight, it might be too contracted. So we need to stretch it out. If it feels loose or that you don't feel stability in your hip, that might mean that it needs to be strengthened. So this is a really good exercise to do to strengthen that muscle. And go ahead and bring your feet down, step it out. We're going to start out with a basic tree. So toe to the floor, toe to the calf, toe high on the thigh, or you can hold on to your foot. It doesn't matter which, but I want you to pick one and stick with it on both sides. Then we're going to turn our hips forward, squeeze the glutes, push the hips And let's make sure that our knee is out to the side, pointing as far to the side as we can. Then when you're ready, you can bring your hands to prayer pose. At any time, if you'd like to have a chair handy to hold on to, you certainly can. Take a few deep breaths. It helps too when we balance to focus our drishti point, which is the place where we focus about 45 degrees in front of the body. Sometimes if you feel that you're having a difficult time balancing, you can also place your hands right around your center of gravity. Sometimes that helps as well. Keep breathing. Keep turning that knee out to the side. Take one more breath in, one more exhale, and slowly release. Step it out. So you probably felt the muscles in your left leg working, the left foot especially working a little bit harder when we keep balance. Now here's where we tell if we have imbalances from the right side to the left side. So we're going to find our tree on the left side, toe to the floor, toe to the calf, toe on high thigh, or you can hold your foot. Whichever one you choose, you just want to make sure you're working to keep that knee out to the side and that you never ever have your foot against the knee joint itself. That can push a lot of pressure onto the joint, stretching out the lateral tendons and ligaments in the knee. So make sure we're pressing the left knee out to the side as far as we can, focusing our drishti point 45 degrees in front of our body. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Focus on your breath, but also focus on what muscles you feel working. Part of yoga is focusing the mind on the body, on the breath. So we really want to be present with what we're feeling. For example, right now that I feel that my ankle is moving a lot more on this side than it was on the other side. These are good things to know about our bodies. Take another deep breath here. Exhale and release. Well done with that. We're going to take it back to that wide stance that we had at the beginning. We're going to inhale up. Palms come together. As we exhale, we're going to bend the knees, sink down as far as you can, get those hips low, pressing the elbows into the knees and pressing out. Hold it here and breathe. Make sure we're pulling our shoulders back, lengthening through the spine. Heels are touching the floor. So if you find that when you're down in this position that your heels raised up, just step your feet a little bit wider apart. And if you really want to try challenging yourself, you can try stepping your feet closer together to add a little bit of a challenge to this pose. We're not going to be holding it for very long. From here, we're going to bring our hands down to the floor, lift the hips up, relax the head, relax the jaw, relax the face, stretch through the backs of the thighs. Bring your hands to your thighs, back roll up one vertebrae at a time. We're going to inhale, reach our arms up. As we exhale, we're bending our knees, bending our elbows. So we're in a partial squat position, arms are goalposts here. I want you to turn your tailbone under. When you turn your tailbone under, you're using your lower core muscles. Every muscle that you feel working right now is responsible for keeping you balanced when we're on a single leg stance. So with your tailbone under, you might feel your abdominals working, you might feel your lower back working, you might feel your inner thighs working. Those muscles work very hard to keep us balanced. Inhale up, palms together. Exhale, sink down all the way again. Elbows to the knees, press the knees wide. This helps open the inner thighs. When we were in that partial squat position, we were working the inner thigh muscles. Now that we're in this position, we're pressing outward to reopen those same muscles that were working earlier. Take a deep breath here. Focus the mind on the muscles. If you find this to be an uncomfortable pose, try to relax something else in your body, maybe your jaw, maybe your hands, maybe your face. And if this is really tough on the knees, a good modification is to raise the hips up and hold yourself more in this position. And then place the hands on the floor, lift through the hips, hold it here, relax between the shoulder blades, breathe deeply, be present. Hands come to the sides, bend the knees slightly, back roll up one vertebrae at a time. And we're going to switch gears again, going back into balance. So we strengthened and now we are balancing again. So we're going to plant firmly the left foot into the mat. Right foot's going to come up into our hand. And if that doesn't work, you could always grab a towel. I don't have one handy, but you could grab a towel to hold your foot into place. You could hold onto a chair. You could even place your foot against the chair behind you. So this is a very basic balance position, but we're also opening through that hip flexor that we were talking about earlier. So this is a good way to stretch through the hip flexor and the quadriceps, which is the top of the thigh. If you want to get a little bit more for your hip flexor, squeeze the glute on the right side, and you're going to feel that stretch intensify. We're going to take this into the dancer pose now. So you're going to extend the left arm forward, start bending the body forward and lifting the foot up behind us. You don't have to go very far. If you need to stop at a certain point because you feel out of balance or you don't feel comfortable, you can. But if you want to try keep continuing to lift the leg behind the body, pushing the foot into the hand, and the hand is steadying. Take a deep breath here. And release that pose when you're ready. Well done. Step it out. You might have felt this leg working as you're pulling back, but you might have felt the left foot really going into high gear to keep you balanced. Now let's try it on the other side. We're going to grab the left foot. Right foot is firmly planted onto the floor, feeling grounded right now. Looking down at an angle, 45 degrees is the best. And again, if you really want to get a little more for your hip flexor, squeeze the glutes, but focus your mind on what you feel opening in the body, what you feel tensing up. Be really present with the body and just breathe here. However you wish to breathe is fine. I'm just happy that you're breathing. Hold it for another moment. And then if you're ready, if you feel like it, you can extend the arm forward, start bending forward, lifting through the legs, stopping wherever you feel comfortable, but pushing the foot into the hand as you lift, which helps to open up through the shoulder. Hold this pose, keep balancing. It takes a lot of work. Inhale, exhale, and release. Go ahead and shake out both feet. We're going to stop our feet then, right about hip width apart, facing the toes forward, inhaling up. And as we exhale, we're going to sink down as if in an imaginary chair, so we're bending those knees. So from the side, I have a flat back here. I might be turning my tailbone up slightly. When we turn our tailbone up, we support the lower back when we're in a position where the lower back has to work. If we turn the tailbone under, it helps to stretch the lower back. So we're stretching through the lower back with the tailbone under, supporting and strengthening the lower back with the tailbone up. It's up to you how you want to go. Keep holding that chair pose. Get as low as you want. We're doing this with a wider stance to give us just a little bit more balance because we're focusing on balance in other areas today. Then as you exhale, I want you to just sink the arms down, taking a wider stance, forward fold. Relax the head, relax the jaws, relax between the shoulder blades. Walk your hands to the right side. Walk your hands to the left side. Tailbone should be raised to the ceiling, and knees can be slightly bent. You might notice that when I do forward folds, I bend my knees quite a bit. And that's because I have tight hamstrings. And it's better to have a bent knee and support your lower back than to really strain to have straight legs. So wherever you are in your flexibility journey is okay. Just find a way to stay comfortable, out of the comfort zone, but not in the pain zone. From here, bend, bring the hands to the thighs, bend the knees back, roll up one vertebrae at a time, roll the shoulders back, inhale up. And we're returning to chair pose. Sink down, hold it here. Keep the abdominal muscles engaged. So if you want to bring your hands to your abs, make sure that you feel those muscles engaged. Inhaling, exhaling, sinking down, making sure your back feels supported. If you feel pain in the lower back, either stop for a moment, straighten the legs and sink back down, or try shifting where your tailbone is. few more deep breaths here, and then we extend down when you're ready. And just hold your forward fold. If you want to, bring your hands underneath your toes for this one, so that your knuckles are on the floor. Let your head hang down. Just breathe. And if you want to get a little bit more for your upper back, as you're standing on your hands, pull your upper body up, holding your hands in place with your feet. And you should feel an immediate opening in the upper back. These muscles in the upper back get really tight from sitting and from leaning forward or using bad posture. So this is a great way to stretch that muscle group. Take another deep breath. Bring your hands to your thighs. Back roll up whenever you're ready. Go ahead and step it out. We're going to move into some sun salutations and then get right back into our balance exercises. So we're going to be facing forward in the mat, doing the same sun salutation we did on Wednesday. Let's inhale up, exhale down to fold. Remember, it's okay to bend your knees here. Inhale, right foot steps back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Hold your plank as you inhale. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale, lift up into baby cobra, looking up, squeeze the glutes. Exhale to downward facing dog. It's okay if your knees are bent in this one. As you inhale, you're raising the right foot, and then exhale, stepping it forward, sinking down into a lunge position. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight as you inhale. Then on your next exhale, feet come together. Back roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do it again on the left side. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back. Exhale to plank. Hold your plank as you inhale. As we exhale, we're lowering down to the floor, all the way down. Inhale up to baby cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. As we inhale, we're raising the left foot in the air. Exhale, step it forward into a high lunge, back leg straight and strong. Inhale here. Then exhale, bring your feet together for fold. Inhale up one vertebrae at a time. Exhale to fold. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale to plank. Hold your plank as you inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift into cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot raises. Exhale, step forward into lunge. Inhale, hold your lunge. Exhale, feet come together. Inhale, back roll up one vertebrae at a time. Reach the arms up, palms together. Exhale down, namaste center. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back this time. And then we exhale to plank. Hold your plank as you inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg raises. Exhale, slide it forward into that lunge. Hold it here as you inhale. Exhale, feet come together. Back roll up one vertebrae at a time, arms overhead, palms together, exhale down. And hold it here for a moment, resting in that stillness. Remind yourself to be present. Right here, right now. Focus on the body, focus on the breath. All meditation is finding a single point of focus and working to maintain that focus. So right now the focus is on the body and the breath. Be present. If your mind begins to wander, just gently bring it back. Keep focusing on the breath, focusing on the balance that you have in the standing position, and release. Well done. You might have noticed me sliding around on my mat. That's not really good form, but I'm wearing socks and this mat is incredibly slippery. So rather than fall on the floor, I just slid my feet. So just in case you were wondering what I was doing there, I was trying not to fall on the floor. So we're going to go back to that wide stance again. We're going to inhale up. And again, we're going to exhale, drop forward, lifting through the tailbone, opening up through the hamstrings, opening up through the lower back. Relax between the shoulder blades. And back roll up one vertebrae at a time. It's always better to back roll up with a slight bend in the knees. All right, we're going to go into arm balances next. So when we do arm balances, it's not about having a ton of strength in our arms. It's more about finding that balance where we are just holding our arms steady in place, and we have the same amount of weight in front of us as we do behind us and left and right. So we're going to be working on crow pose today. So I invite you to start out with a kind of wide stance, toes slightly out, and we're going to sink back down as if we were in that prayer squatting pose. But instead of holding that pose, we're going to open our hands as wide as a starfish. That's a stupid thing to say. Open your hands really wide, plant them on the floor. When we do that, you might want to move your hands around, see where you feel the most stability, but you'll always find the most stability when your wrists are underneath your shoulders. There's a little wiggle room, so I just want you to keep putting weight into your arms, rocking forward, rocking back. Take note of where you feel the most balanced here. So, and then what I want you to do is once you find the right place to keep your wrist, I just want you to shift forward so you're placing more weight in your hands, in your wrist, and just holding it right there. So we're lifting up through our hands, putting as much weight into our arms as possible, keeping our elbows nice and straight, keeping our arms engaged, and then roll back, roll out your wrists. So this is your assessment to know if crow is the right pose for you. If you felt pain in your wrists, tingling in your fingers, you might want to sit this one out and I'll give you something else that you can do instead. But if you feel ready, we're going to go right into that crow pose. If crow isn't right for you today, then I'm going to have you on your hands and knees, lifting the feet into downward facing dog and dropping back down. Lifting and pressing back into downward facing dog and rocking back down. That's a nice gentle exercise to strengthen the wrist. So if you're doing that instead of crow, go for it. If you want to give crow a try, fingers wide, starfish hands, wrists underneath the shoulders for low. We're going to open our elbows wide for a beginner crow. And what we do here is we start to lift through our heels. So my heels are low. I'm wearing socks so you can see my feet better. I'm going to lift my heels, lift my hips, lift my body as I shift my weight forward into my hands. And then I'm going to lift one foot at a time, gently, slowly, and holding it in place. Keep your abdominal muscles engaged, keep your arm muscles engaged, and drop down when you're ready. You can keep rocking back and forth, holding that crow for as many times as you want. I'm going to give you about 40 more seconds to keep practicing. But it's important when we start out with crow, instead of putting our knees on the backs of our triceps, we're practicing by hugging our arms in so that we don't turn our elbows out and we don't put too much strain on our collarbones. So the beginner crow, we have our elbows more, or our knees more on the outside of our arms, kind of to hold our arms into place and to give us more stability. So just keep practicing rocking forward, lift through the hips. This real secret to crow pose is lifting the toes or lifting the heels so you're on your tiptoes before you go into that pose. So keep practicing. You've got 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want you to sit back on your knees when you're ready. Give yourself a couple wrist rolls here. Change directions. Crow pose can be very difficult on the wrist, which is why it's important to do some strengthening exercises for the wrist if you are feeling pain. If you have carpal tunnel or anything like that, just holding your hands back and just stretching during crow pose might be enough for you. Okay, but we're not going to do it all the time. So now we're going to open our toes. When we do balance exercises, the muscles in our feet tend to work really hard and go into overtime. So we're sitting back here, our hips are against our heels. We're going to place our weight forward, turn the toes under, sit back on the heels again. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And we're just pressing back, You might feel that it's a lot more painful in your toes than you would have expected, so you can lean forward and gently ease back until you reach that point where you feel like you're out of the comfort zone, but you're not in the pain zone. And from here, you're gonna roll your heels out, roll your heels in, roll your heels out, roll your heels in. This is stretching through the bottoms of the feet. Really important exercise, really important to pay close attention to and care for your feet. Keep going here and then release. Go ahead and bring it to your hands and knees so that our knees are underneath our hips. Our wrists are underneath our hands, and we're going to do some core balance exercises next. So from here, we're raising the right leg, raising the left arm, and we're just holding it in place, keeping our back flat, looking forward, pointing the toe behind us, reaching our arm as far forward as we can. Hold it here. Notice how you might feel kind of wiggly, moving from the right to the left, forward and back. Take another deep breath and release. Make sure your knees are under your hips, your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And then from here, we're raising the right arm, extending it forward. Raise the left leg, extend it behind us. Feel the connection between the shoulder and the hip. As you reach forward with your arm, kick back with your leg. Keep the back flat, keep looking forward. We tend to want to hang our head down when we get tired, but I invite you to keep looking up, keep the neck engaged, lift through the chin, hold it here, and release. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but we're going to add on to it. So you might feel more comfortable just holding in place. If you want to go to the next step, I'll walk you through it. So let's lift the left leg, right arm lifts. If you want to stay here, stay here. If not, bend the leg, grab the toe, push the foot into the hand and lift, looking to the left. So hold it here, keep lifting, keep holding. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and drop. Recenter yourself, knees are underneath the hips, wrists are underneath the hands. If you have tight wrists, take a few breaks to roll it out. No shame in taking a break. And the next one we're going to lift the left leg, raise the right arm. If you wish to stay right here and keep holding this, please do. If you want to take it to the next level, bend that back knee, grab the toe, lift up, press through the hands, opening through the chest as well. Your foot is pressing into your hand. Hold it here and twist. Keep going. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and gently release. From here, we're going to touch our big toes together, open our knees just about as wide as the mat. Sit back into child pose, drop the chest to the mat. Drop the forehead to the mat. Focus on the breath. Reacquaint yourself with the present moment. Sometimes when we're focusing on balance, all we can think about is not falling. So after we do a balance exercise, it's so good to just do an easy, relaxing pose, to remind yourself to be present, to remind yourself of your intention at the beginning of the class. Take one more deep breath here. And then roll it up so you're on your hands and knees again. This is the last time we'll be on our hands and knees, I promise. We're going to exhale, lift through the center of the spine. Inhale, drop the belly button down to the mat, look up. Cat and cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Keep moving. Anytime we do balance, we work our core muscles. Our core muscles' job is to keep our spine straight. A lot of small little muscles working there. And doing cat and cow after a series of balanced poses is a great way to just stretch those muscles, rebalance yourself. Well done. Let's have a seat in the center of the mat. And we're going to open up through our hips, doing some spinal twists. So we're going to tuck the left foot in nice and tight. Right leg is coming up and over the left. With our left arm, we're going to hug the right leg into the body. And then our right arm is going to sweep behind us as we look back over our shoulder. And just try to breathe normally here, really focusing on the exhale. When we exhale, we want to relax through our abdominal muscles. Look back over your shoulder as far as you can. Take one more deep breath here, and then bring it forward. Now take note of where your feet are, because we're going to keep our feet exactly where they are, but we're going to rotate so that the sole of our foot is against the mat. And we're going to bring it up to a standing position with our arms wide and our hips forward. We're holding it here, and let's twist to the right, opening up through the hips. I love this spinal twist. And now we're going to turn to the left. We're going to turn 180 degrees so we're facing the wall behind us. Then we're going to keep rotating on our feet, keep rotating the feet, turn the hips forward. From here, keep twisting the upper body forward, but your feet are facing forward, your hips are facing forward. Spinal twist on the other side. Bring our body forward again. So as we bend our knees and return to the floor, we should be exactly the opposite place. So now our left leg is bent over the right foot's tucked in. See how that transition worked for you. It's kind of a tough one, but once you get it, you'll always have it. I won't make you do it again today though. So we should have our left foot bent over the right foot tucked in, feet are flexed to protect the knee. We're going to bring our right arm around, pull the left thigh in towards the body, then we're sweeping the left arm around behind us, looking over the left shoulder, and just breathe. Use your exhale to relax through the abdominal muscles. Every time you exhale, release those muscles. You should feel this opening in the hips as well. On your next inhale, bring it forward. We're going to release our feet so that the soles of our feet are touching one another. Hands come down to the ankles. We're going to pull back. So by pulling our ankles back towards our body, we're opening our shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And you should feel an opening both in the inner thighs, but also maybe in the front of your shoulders and your chest. You should feel your upper back working just a little bit. This is a great way to strengthen those muscles that we were stretching earlier in the upper back. Hold it here, opening through the inner thighs. One more arm balance pose. So now we're going to release our ankles, keep the soles of our feet together. This one's a little tricky, but give it a try. Hands are going to come back behind the body, fingertips facing forward. I'm going to lean back onto my hands, making sure my wrists are underneath my shoulders. I'm going to open my chest as wide as I can up to the ceiling. I'm going to lift my chin looking up. I'm going to engage my upper back muscles as I push off of my feet and my hips raise off of the floor. So from the side, soles of the feet are together. I reach back behind my body, fingertips facing forward. Engage my muscles, look all the way up, hips raise off of the mat, dropping the knees down to the side. Take breaks if you want. And if you'd like to just hold yourself in this position with your hips on the floor, as you lift your chin and lift your chest to the ceiling, that's okay too. Whatever one works for you. Take one more deep breath wherever you are. And then drop it down. Walk the hands towards the ankles. Pull in, squeeze the shoulder blades together, pulling the body forward, engaging the upper back, opening through the inner thighs. And release. Let's extend the legs forward. Feet are flexed. We're going to inhale, arms come up overhead. And as we exhale, we're rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Reaching back, open through the abdominals, open through the chest and shoulders. Take a deep breath, relax here, relax through the abdominals. And then as we exhale, we're going to Extend forward, reaching as far forward as we can go. Grab those toes. Inhale, pull it back. Powerful exhale as we bring it forward. Raise the arms, inhale back. One more time, exhale forward, out over the toes. Inhale, bring it back. Take a deep breath here. How I slid to the end of my mat. Take a deep breath here. And now we're going to lay on our side. So you're going to have your arm under your head. You can have your hand holding your head up, whatever feels good to you. And we're going to pick up the top leg. This is my left leg. I'm going to grab that toe again, just like we did in that dancer pose at the beginning of class. Now we're going to open up through our IT band in the side of our body by dropping that knee down towards the mat. If you want to get a little more out of it, bring that bottom leg up and just add a little weight. So we're just holding this in place. You feel an opening through the side of your hip. Take another deep breath and release. We're going to return to our back, pulling that left leg in towards the chest. We're going to open it out as wide as we can. Hold it out as wide as we can. And then we're going to cross it over on the next breath. Cross it over the right side using your hand to guide the foot. We're going to bring the left arm out to the side, looking to the left as the left arm is crossed over the right side of the body. Relax here, opening through the side of the hip. Take a deep breath. Inhale, and on your exhale, really relax your abdominal muscles. Bring it back to center, pull both knees in towards the chest. Pull it in as you inhale and exhale, release. You're going to pull it in so our tailbone raises off the floor, exhale, release. One more, inhale, exhale, and we're going to change sides. So you can either flip it over or you can change sides on the mat, changing sides so that it's not an unflattering view. And we're going to drop down, straighten both legs. The top leg, we're going to bend. This is my right leg, bending the right. I'm going to let the knees sink down towards the floor and bringing my left leg up. Add just a little more weight to the side of my body, to the side of my leg to open up through the side of my hip. So I'm also opening up through my quadricep muscle and my hip flexor muscle. If you have a hard time balancing and doing that dancer pose that we did earlier today, this is a great alternative to open those same muscle groups, but you can do it from bed. So when you wake up in the morning, all you have to do is reach back and grab a toe. You don't even have to do the extra part. This is a great way to stretch the quadricep and the hip flexor without focusing so heavily on maintaining your balance. From here, we're going to gently release, pulling the right leg in towards the torso as we flip over onto our back. And we're going to open the right leg out to the right side of the body. Hold it here for a moment, breathing, opening up to the inner thigh. Hold it here and breathe. And on your next breath, we're going to transfer our direction. So we're coming over to the left. Left hand's going to take over, pull the right leg up and over, and then we're going to open the right arm out to the side, looking to the side. Breathe into it, relax. With every exhale, relax through your abdominals. When you can relax through the abdominals in a spinal twist position, you can actually release some of the tension in the lower back as well. So really focus on relaxing through the abs. Be present. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale. One more breath, and then we'll gently pull the legs back up, pull both knees in towards the chest, and this time we're rocking side to side. And as we rock side to side, I want you to drop your feet closer and closer to the floor. So it's going to feel like a mini massage. Eventually you can't reach your legs anymore. Just gonna drop it down until your toes are touching the floor, and then you're just rocking your legs side to side. So it's like a mini massage all down your sacrum. So you bring your feet to a stopping position. Your knees are slightly bent. And from here, I want you to exhale, press your lower back down against the floor, lifting the tailbone. This is the same lower back movement as we do in cat pose. Then we're going to inhale, lift the tailbone up, pushing down into the floor, lift the back off of the floor. Exhale, drop the tailbone. So we're doing exactly the same lower back motion that we do in cat and cow. So I'm creating space under my back as I inhale, and as I exhale, I'm negating all of that space. I can't even get my hand in there anymore. Keep breathing, keep rolling the lower back. One more time, pull the legs in towards the body, rock side to side a little bit, rock forward and back a little bit. And we're gonna roll it up into a seated position. Feet are crossed in front of our body. We're going to inhale up. Exhale down, hands come to the thighs. Relax the shoulders, pull them away from the ears. Close your eyes. Just take a few moments of breathing to yourself, trying to keep your mind focused on the breath, present on the mat. Inhaling and exhaling. The future is coming, the past already happened, so really just being present on the mat, relaxing your body. Allow yourself to be heavy. Thank yourself for showing up. We're going to take some relaxing breaths now. We're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Palms come together, rub them together on your way down. And I wish you all namaste. Thank you for participating, and I hope to see you next week for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon yoga. But if not, you can catch this on my new YouTube channel.